Don't breathe. So
I have to breathe.
we would be, if we finish, we would be the only Power 5 team that would be undefeated outside of the ones that are in the top 10, right? Which is Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, all undefeated. The next undefeated Power 5 team is, guess what? USC.
How many teams in the top 25 did you guys play?
I don't care about that.
0.
It's East Coast bias.
It's not East Coast bias. I love the West Coast. You played 0 teams in the top 25. Zubin, this is not a discussion.
No, Utah was in the top 25 when we played them.
So, SC, right now, if you're wondering, to put the final word on it, 15th from the College Football Playoff Committee.
15th. Come on, man. We play UCLA this week. We 5-0. We go to the championship. We play Oregon and Washington. That'll take us to 6-0. We got the same record as Ohio State. We got an argument.
We'll see. We'll see. If Gary Bart is listening, let's go from A to Z.
From A to Z.
Homer.
From A to Z is brought to you by Redbox. Redbox's new movies at the box and streaming on demand. Don't miss Fat Man starring Mel Gibson. Visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch. So James Harden, as you well know, wants to force a trade to the Nets, but then word yesterday he'd be open to a trade with the Sixers or the always murky other contenders, whatever that means. If he were to go to Philly, he would be reunited with his old GM Daryl Morey, and he had his most success under Morey in Houston. Jay, how likely is it that Harden ends up in Philadelphia?
I think the chances are high. Now, look, I don't think Daryl Morey is getting a Christmas card from Tillman Fertitta, the owner of the Houston Rockets. But if you're the owner of the Rockets and if you're Raphael Stone, the GM of the Rockets, you're looking at the scenario and saying, do I need to trade James Harden to get value in return? Or do I hold on to him and potentially only make 60 or 70 cents on the dollar?
What's the value? What's the swap?
Ben Simmons and first-round picks.
Okay.
For that amount of money, you got to go player for player, and obviously we saw a huge player-for-player swap last week.
It depends on how much more he wants to give up, if he's going to be held ransom by Raphael Stone or not.
We'll see. This is a huge decision. The first big decision for the new Rockets GM could be the biggest decision he makes his entire front office tenure. That says something right out of the gate.
It's a hell of a first decision.
Right? And it can affect and alter the balance of the franchise moving forward. LeBron wants to move forward, says, yeah, I was hurt by Kyrie's lack of faith when Kyrie made some comments on KD's podcast that essentially said that when games were being played down the stretch, this is the first time with me and KD in Brooklyn that I've looked down and said, hey, somebody else could make a big-time shot too. Obviously, LeBron and Kyrie were teammates in Cleveland. Here's LeBron on Spectrum Sportsnet, the Road Trippin' podcast, essentially weighing in on those Kyrie comments.
So when I heard the comment that Kyrie made, I wanted to, not only find the whole transcript, but also call my people, send me the whole transcript. And I heard he did it on Katie's podcast. And I was a little like damn.
Yeah.
Once I got the whole transcript, I was like, damn. You know, I wasn't like, oh, you tripping. I've hit game-winning shots my whole life. I was not like that. I was like, damn, because the whole time while I was there, I only wanted to see him be an MVP of our league. And it kind of hurt me a little bit.
I think that's fair. That's some honesty from LeBron. That was on Spectrum Sportsnet, the Road Trippin' podcast, one of the co-hosts of the Road Trippin' podcast. Richard Jefferson, who was on the 2016 Cavs championship team with both LeBron and Kyrie, is going to join us this morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern to weigh in with his comments. He's got a unique view, having been on that championship team, knowing them both in Cleveland. What do you think of LeBron essentially pouring his heart out and saying, man, he said that, but he really said it?
Yeah, sometimes, it takes two to tango. A lot of times people think that, right? But LeBron's LeBron. It's like I've been doing this my entire career. I've been making big-time shots. So it's kind of like,
right.
But LeBron also knows who Kyrie is, and he's been around him. He understands him. So I think when LeBron looked at it, it was just like, dude, is that it again? Like, what's the issue from an outsider? I know LeBron. I don't know Kyrie. I don't think I've ever met Kyrie. But just from a outside looking at it, it's almost like there's this jealousy situation with Kyrie and LeBron. Like, for what though? Like, I don't know what it is, but it seems like And Jay is in the NBA loop, so he could explain it further. It's just like, for me, it just seems like there's like this jealousy sort of kind of, I'm on a needle LeBron for no apparent reason. I just want to do it to see what people say, but I really don't know what I'm doing. That's what it kind of seems like to me.
Yeah, no, I think you're on the right track, Key. I think, and this is more speculative, but when I heard Bron talk about Kyrie when they were playing in Cleveland, Bron oftentimes referred to Kyrie as kid, right? And I think for Kyrie, he wanted to be seen as like a colleague, like a peer, somebody on the same level as Bron, even though we know that Bron is on a different level. Now, I don't know how that manifested itself.
I don't understand that, man.
I don't know how that manifested itself. But
type of
look,
stuff.
this is why I said February 18th is going to be that game that I hope we have the vaccine. I will be there. Key will be watching that game.
We got to go to break, kid. We got to go to break.
Okay, all right, we're going to break.
Rodgers, Breeze, Wilson. Who's